Patrick D. My name's Earl. How about some coffee? It's in a to-go cup, but I just made it in a percolator. Um, these things could last a long time if you're careful, but they can also bust out the bottom, so that's why you gotta be careful. You don't want hot coffee in your lap, Patrick D. So since you're new to the community, I just read a comment. Hey, I'm new to this whole drinking thing, new to this whole drinking video. I thought I might tell you some other things you don't want to do, things you don't want in your career, your YouTube career, like hot coffee in your lap. Um, first of all, respect the community, respect its members. You might not always agree with what everybody's up to, and it's okay to fight with them, as long as you're manly about it. There's been a lot of excellent fights in our community, but no one's kicking anybody when they're down, Patrick D. Um, for instance, a couple of fantastic characters, Steel Worldwide. Not a lot of people agree with what he says. A lot of people fight with him, like the most excellent bringer of malt liquor entertainment, Machete, fought with Steel Worldwide a lot. Um, but it was always at the highest level of gentlemanly discussion over slight disagreements. Another thing, Patrick, you might want to do is just don't treat people like tools in the community. They're real people. They shouldn't be used for things other than just to get to know them and also to be inspired by them, their creativity and whatnot. Um, like I could imagine, for instance, going back to that Steel Wide Machete fight. I couldn't imagine Machete contacting anyone like me, for instance, and said, "Oh man, would you please help me fight Steel Worldwide? Would you defend me against him?" Well, first of all, Machete doesn't talk like that. Machete can't talk like that. He's all man. Uh, People that talk like that are like a man boy. So you don't want a Patrick D. You don't want to act like a man boy in the community. Um, it'd be really hard to shake that reputation off. It might be impossible, dude. So in case you want to just like ruin the internet, if you want to like take a big poop in the YouTubes, then the YouTube for you is always going to smell like poop. So you don't want to poop in the YouTube, just like you don't want hot coffee in your lap. Oh, you should know Rugby. Now, Rugby is an amazing phenomenon in YouTube for a whole lot of reasons. And one of the reasons I respect the most, other than the phenomenon aspect, is the amount of work that Rugby puts into finding people making drinking videos. He finds them. He's like wandering the tubes, going through the small crooks and crannies, finds somebody in their basement, in their garage, drinking a beer, and he's like, "Did you know that there's a drinking community?" And these people didn't know. Rugby was the first person to introduce them to us, and a lot of times how we find them is through Rugby. So an amazing amount of work and dedication. So don't forget to respect Rugby and respect the people who really appreciate Rugby. I remember once there was this guy that told everybody who liked Rugby that they were sucking on Rugby. It was really gross and inappropriate behavior. Not the kind of behavior that we want to see in our community. The sexual innuendo. We don't like sexual innuendo, Patrick D. We don't like to be told we're sucking on another man. Jeez. Yeah, so respect Rugby, respect what he does, and respect that the community appreciates him. And if you don't agree with that, no, you just don't agree with it. It's okay. You don't need to agree with everything that is done and said. But though disagreeing with a large group of people and telling them they suck on somebody, that's not what you want to do. Once again, you'd be pooping in the YouTube. You'd be squatting over a YouTube where you go in and out to have fun, and you take a big poop there. You don't want to take a big poop there. Oh boy, can't imagine. I can't imagine someone would think that would be a good idea. Oh, a lot of things. Another thing that a lot of us in the drinking community like is we like those dance videos where the girls are just dancing in their underwear. It's like a way to get around the nudity thing. And sometimes they kind of grab their underwear and they squeeze it tight. Kind of squeeze it up into a bunch. That's the only time we really like to see undies in a bunch in YouTube. So if you start to feel like your undies getting in a bunch, Patrick D, don't cam up. Because it's not like it's involuntary, right? Oh my gosh, is that a giant? I have to go look at that. Looks like a frog. All right. Yeah, if you find your panties bunching up, first of all, you should look to that. I mean, because that's odd. Maybe you're buying the wrong size panties. Maybe you're getting excited over nothing, right? And we don't like to see it. Like I said, we like it when the ladies are doing it to music on purpose. We don't like when men do it seemingly like they can't control their panties. Men can control their panties, Patrick D. All right. Well, Patrick D, I was really, really interested to hear that you're new to our community and that Rugby didn't find you. You found us. That's fantastic. So yeah, I look forward to seeing more of your videos.